According to the World Health Organization, in 2016, there were 1.9 billion adults considered to be overweight, and of those, 650 million were considered to be obese. What's even more concerning is that these statistics still continue to rise today, and now there are over 340 million adolescents that are considered to be either obese or overweight. It's no secret that the cause of obesity and being overweight is from high caloric intake, from eating too much junk food, too much food in general, lack of exercise. And when you combine these things together, it can and will lead to diseases within the body. Hey guys, welcome back to The Blissful Athlete. Thank you for tuning in. If you're here today, then there's a good chance that you're probably not necessarily happy with your overall physical physique. And not only will this video help you along your personal physical journey, but I promise you that videos to come and the ones that already do exist can help you out as well. So you're concerned about your body weight. What's the problem? Nothing. Luckily, this science has already been taken care of by the yogic system. It's been passed down from enlightened master to enlightened master. What I've compiled is 5 that are very, very good. I can't say that they're the best because I don't know which the ones are the best exactly, but there are 5 extremely powerful techniques to help you lose weight and feel comfortable within your body. And if you stay tuned until the end, I have one final secret technique that is actually very powerful and is gonna help you feel really comfortable within your own body. Now, the first technique is to consume sattvic foods. Now, a sattvic diet is foods that are always fresh, they're organic and natural, they're unprocessed, they're completely nourishing, and they consist of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. Some examples of a sattvic diet are legumes, lentils, seeds, nuts, really ripe vegetables. And when you consume all of these types of sattva quality foods, what happens is it really does balance the body, but also the mind, which actually does help you lose weight also. Now, the second technique is to only consume hand-sized portions. If you're from America or from a country that serves a shit ton of food on one plate, it's completely obvious that there is too much food being served at every meal. If you look at one plate when you go out for dinner, the odds are that there's enough food there for 3 people in that one meal. And so naturally, we're consuming way too many calories than we need. And as this consistently progresses over time, we're just adding on way too much extra pounds simply because we're consuming way too many calories. And if you want to lose weight, then that means you actually have to consume much fewer calories than you probably already are. For instance, 1 pound of body fat is equivalent to 3,500 calories. So if you wanted to lose 2 pounds per week, then you would have to consume 1,000 fewer calories per day. But if you're like most people, you probably don't want to take out the scale, take out the measuring cup and pour all your food in there and find out exactly how many calories are in each food. The simple solution given by the Adi Guru Sadashiva himself, the first guru, is simple. Does all of the food fit in your hand? If the food doesn't fit in your hand, then don't consume it. Now, I'm not saying you have to actually measure it on your hand. It will certainly help go a long way, but if it's not going to fit in your hand, then remove it from the plate. Remove it from the plate. This is actually a technique that Sadashiva gives in the Rudra Yamala Tantra, and I'll read it out verbatim. The quote says, "Then one must place the food on a bowl for the consumption of only as much food as can be placed on a hand." So again, if you want to lose weight, remove the weighing machines, no need for scales, etc. Simply, does the food fit on your hand? And if it doesn't, keep your tongue in check. The third technique is pranayama after eating. In order for your body to process and digest food, oxygen is consumed. And if you increase the level of oxygen through breathing techniques such as pranayama, then the result is that there's more oxygen available to help break down food and increase the digestive process. And again, Sadashiva himself is giving this technique in the Rudra Yamala Tantra. He's saying that one must do kumbhaka. And kumbhaka is really the gap in between your breath. So if you're inhaling, that gap in between the inhale and exhale is a kumbhaka. So if you take a few minutes after consuming your foods, I'm not going to give you a strict guideline to follow, just a few minutes, taking some deep breaths, nice long gap, an equivalent gap to the breath that you took in. So a good count is roughly 4 seconds. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling.
1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That is the type of kumbhaka that you could easily follow, which will increase the oxygen level, which will really speed up the digestive system within the body, which will then mean that no more calories are stored as fat in your belly. Now, the fourth technique is yoga, specifically mayurasana. Now, if you thought we were going to talk about reducing weight but not mention the physical component at all, then you're straight nuts. Obviously, reduction of weight means that you got to get the body moving. You have to start burning more calories. Now, two of the techniques that we've talked about are increasing the digestive fire within the system and burning more calories. Mayurasana does both. Along with increasing the digestive organs, the metabolic process, the posture of Mayurasana actually engages the core tremendously, as well as improving the functioning of the endocrine system, the kidneys, the spleen. All of this is going to be really powerful in developing and improving the efficiency and the functioning of your body. And the natural result is a reduction of weight. Now, incorporating Mayurasana on its own is one thing, but to incorporate an entire system and a whole new yoga practice on its own is another. So if you're not capable of performing Mayurasana, don't worry. A daily yoga practice incorporating a number of different postures is an extremely efficient method for weight loss. And I can't stress enough the importance of doing a daily yoga practice, because for you newbies to yoga or exercising in general, what you're gonna find is that it's gonna engage a lot of different muscle groups that you do not work on a daily basis, which is one, going to burn calories in the process of developing those muscles, but two, muscle is a metabolically active tissue. This means that it's going to actually burn more calories even when you're not exercising, just because that's what they do. Fat cells don't burn calories, but muscle tissue does. And this brings us to the fifth yogic secret, and that is right living. This is given by Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, and he beautifully says, "One who eats too much, or the one who refrains from eating, and neither the one who is sleepy nor the one who is sleepless reaches the state of intense action and perfection." Now, what does this mean for us in regards to health and weight loss? The saying, everything in moderation, holds true here with Krishna's words. Yogic life is all about finding balance, which leads to the highest fulfillment. When you find the balance that works for you, you'll begin to experience what the athletic world refers to as peak performance. Peak performance is nothing but when you're in a state of intense action, where events happen continuously around you and you're sunk into this beautiful flow with life. And to be in this intense space, functioning with purpose, is the very purpose of life itself. If you remember that context and align yourself to that context continuously, then your overall life itself is going to improve drastically. Your mind won't have time to wander thinking about food or all these stressful thoughts that are going on 24/7. Rather, you get so honed into what's happening in this moment that things happening around you and within your mind, throwing off your body and its overall functioning, it just doesn't happen. That intense space is so important when it comes to that, because how often do we find ourselves just wandering around in the kitchen and we notice something in the food in the pantry and we'll consume basically whatever's there, and our mind's just all over the place. All of this can be reduced if we're in that space of intense action, intensely living and playing with life. And this brings us to the bonus technique, and that is, of course, acceptance. If you're here and you're checking out how to lose weight, the first and foremost thing that you need to do is understand, yes, you are beautiful the way you are. You don't need to lose weight to feel comfortable and to be satisfied with who you are. Now, yes, it is important to be healthy, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, but do not be in that state of mind where you're constantly thinking about, oh, I look bad and I don't want to go in public. I promise you, I used to be there, and I used to hate going out thinking about, what people would think of me, not necessarily because I felt like I was fat or overweight, but I just wasn't necessarily happy with how I looked. I'm promising you that completion with what I look like and what others think of me and my acceptance of who I am in this body and the fact that, I'm pasty white, it's okay. It's okay to be overweight. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you begin to accept it, I promise you that is when even more weight is going to shed off and you'll begin to experience a new and fuller you that you didn't think was possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. If there's anything else that you'd like to know about, then please let me know. I love sharing all these cool new yogic techniques, the revival of authentic yoga itself. And thank you very much for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video. As always, guys, be blissful.